A man's always got to start with the coffee, doesn't
Gotta
he?
get a good flow here. You want a good flow, you gotta have a good flow. And it starts with a good flow of coffee.
I love it.
All the way. Bam.
Boom. Well, welcome everybody. Welcome back to the Two Bros One podcast. I am one of your hosts. I'm MC Broccoli.
I have a good cup of coffee. I'm DJ Hunts.
And today we're going to talk about everything and anything and absolutely
Nothing.
well, not nothing today. I would say we have something going on,
I think
right?
we have something, but if it feels like nothing, we warned you. But it's not. It's definitely
not.
something.
Today we have a very amazing, incredible special guest who has been throwing events all over North County, San Diego. He puts on amazing, cool parties. If you've been to him, you better shout him out. It is our good friend, Curtis Baker, everybody. Whoop, whoop. What is happening, my brother?
How we doing, guys?
Dude, how we doing, man?
Good. Stoked to be here. Appreciate you guys reaching out. Something I normally don't do, but it was sounded like a good time, and just wanted to come say hey and kick it.
Dude, we absolutely appreciate you.
So
and
much
we're
appreciate
just
it, bro.
We're just so happy to, one, go to your events. Your events are amazing. You know, if you don't know any of the events, you know he does a lot of cool parties all over North County, San Diego. We just did one called Treatz out in Encinitas, and it was a good time. You know, it was all sick. But he also does more things. You know, like Snowside. Thank you. Snowside.
It's all right. It's funny. It's like with the events and the names and stuff. It's like I have so many people, even like with Pier Club, they're like Pier Side or Pier this, and like just, and I don't even like correct them anymore. It's like, oh, well, are you gonna be doing that snow slide again? I'm like, yeah, it's happening. So
You're going to be in that snow globe again?
I know what they're talking about. They know what they're talking about. So it's
Something
like,
that starts with snow?
yeah, it's like not worth the correction. You just let it happen.
Personally, I love the New Year's Eve event you put on.
Yes.
At the Hello Betty, now called the Surf Club. Same place, just different name, different business. That one is special to me because before I knew you, before anything about the Brothers Graham, like I remember my mom talking about like a New Year's Eve party that's going on at the Hello Betty. And I knew the Hello Betty just from going there from like, getting lunch. And I was just like, I'm not doing anything for New Year's Eve. And then I hear about this party going on New Year's Eve. And I go there and I just show up and I just see all these DJs. I'm just like, my first thought was like, it'd be sick if I can DJ here. It'd be sick if I can DJ for this event. And then, obviously, then Brothers King got started, and then we found out you're the guy. It was like, oh, you're the one who does the New Year's Eve parties at that. And dude, it's like every single year, bro. That's the place to go to.
It really is.
Like if you're like local in the North County side, like and you want a good New Year's Eve party to go to, like that's the one.
Seriously, bro. You
2 or 3 different two DJs, one downstairs, one upstairs.
There's two separate stages this year. I think there's over like 12 DJs.
Dang.
So yeah, it's a thick, hefty lineup of just super solid, rad dudes of all different genres. I mean, I come from the space of, I know my playlists aren't just one genre,
Right.
And so with the parties and events, just like having multiple vibes and genres going, it just works well because everyone loves everything, and so being able to float around and just kind of catch different vibes and things are kind of coming in and out. It's always just a cool way to keep it fun and fresh.
Absolutely.
I feel we're in like this era, and when you go to certain spots, it's just this and only this, and it's like,
right,
if you love that, that's great, but I just know that
it's not everybody's
friends
fun.
And stuff, it's like you look at anyone's playlist and it's very, very rare that it's only one thing in this little box, you know. And so to me, I think it's just more fun to have a bit of variety and mix it up a little bit.
And they totally do, dude.
They do. And at your events, bro, it's not, it's like you have your young crowd, guys who just turned 21, your 30-year-olds, and then you also have like your old timers. I don't know how to say it.
It's been crazy from the get-go of just, there was something that started from like the very beginning where like the 30, 40, 50, 60 plus demographic would like come and party. And I mean, even like the New Year's event, I mean, I've had years where most of the bottle service tables are groups of like 50, 60
Right.
plus groups
Yeah.
that are just getting it, you know, and it's
Yeah.
like
It's almost
a big thing for me was I've always loved the vibe at a wedding where it's just like you have your little niece and your grandma and your crazy uncle and all your friends just like getting after it at a wedding, you know, to Lionel Richie and like, you know, whatever, all night long type of vibe. And so that was always something that it's like, all right, well, if like that's the pocket that you can have all these age demographics, like, you know, mingling in a space like that, and fun is the common denominator. It just like sets just a really cool vibe, you know,
totally
and
does, dude.
and it kind of keeps people in check a little bit, you know, where it's like, you know, the nightclub mentality activities is a lot different when you look over and you're like partying with your grandma and your aunts and uncles.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
So it
totally.
like keeps the vibes just like good and a little bit more wholesome, I guess.
No,
less likely for guys to be creepy.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know, you know.
I mean, you got our mom involved. I mean, when Hunter told us, you know, this whole story, you know, our mom, before she had her stroke, God bless her, you know, she and her friends, you know, they're a bunch of partiers, man. They're just a bunch of senders, and they figured out about the, you know, your Pier Club Presents event, and I mean, God forbid, it's lit, dude. You got, like I said, you get everybody involved because there's so much, you have so much to offer, you know, when you come to a Pier Club event. Like the last time when we did Treatz, you know, Hunter and I were so stoked just to be there. Just like, yeah, like we played it and it was like, we had a lot of fun. But like from a different side, we were like, dude, this music's awesome. Like we're bass heads.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you like Scumwubs being there.
Yeah.
Oh my freaking
Adam Bomb,
gosh,
yeah.
dude. This, I mean, just going in there, and then Zolchi and Zane throwing the DMB sets. I mean,
Yeah.
I thought it was incredible. Then you also got like a house in the middle where everybody was like packed out to be. It was, and then you got outside. You have a silent disco where there's multiple DJs playing, you know, different kind of styles. You know, you got house on one side, but also like rap on the other side. It's an eclectic event that it works out so well. No, I'm just so happy that like you're doing it, and like, dude, like no one in North County, San Diego is really tapping into. Like you're really like you paved the way, and are the only one I really know that's really doing this, and it's also dope, and it's also very successful. That everybody I talk to, every time we always say, oh, you know, Curtis, oh, you're gonna go to his events? Are you gonna go to this party? What about his Halloween party? What about his like, you know, New Year's Eve party? I'm gonna go to Snowslide because, dude, I don't know, it's just a kick-ass event, dude. Like I want to go there, like, you know, just to hang out. But you know what I mean, like. You're just such a great, you know, party planner. You run everything. And then also what people want also to see is you are a great host. You know, you're always looking at everything. You're always making sure this is cool. And just from one point of view, I was so like, dude, this guy's like my mentor. I'm looking at this guy as like, he understands it. And this is what I want to be when I do our events. So, dude, Curtis, you're the man, dude.
Hey,
Very props, bro.
Appreciate that.
No, of
Man
course.
props.
Yeah, dude.
That's awesome.
So tell me, so with all this vision and everything that we're all talking about, where did it all start? How did this all happen?
Man, it was a sake infused sushi at Harney downtown Oceanside with some buddies, and you know, I come from the band world, played in you know, kind of metal bands and stuff like that growing up through high school, and that was a blast and had a lot of fun with my best friends, you know, doing that whole deal. And then that kind of evolved into you know, DJing and electronic music through, you know, the late 2000, it was like 2007, 8, 9, 10, 11, when the kind of the whole EDM
That blew up.
boom was happening.
That was a big
and,
boom right there.
And my buddy DJ was DJing, and so I was just like, you know, I want to learn how to, you know, do that, and so just started doing the DJing thing and learning how to produce music. I'd always been kind of making beats, and I've been like recording in my bedroom of the band stuff since I was a little kid. You know, and most kids were getting, you know, toys and stuff. I was getting like the Tascam 4-track mixer.
Dude,
you
yes.
know, and
Getting started early.
Yeah, and like mics and drum sets and, you know, amps and guitars and all that kind of stuff. And so it just kind of was like one thing kind of just progressed to the other, and just along the way, just like, you know, learning different aspects of the industries, from the studio side, the recording side, to the show side. And I mean, we played shitty shows for no people, and we've played some popping shows for sold out stuff, and we've, you get burned by promoters, and you get, so it was just like, and it was just the ebbs and flow of the learning of everything had just kind of just like led to what was starting to DJ locally, San Diego, nightclub stuff, venue stuff. There were some really cool venues that were doing bass music shows, and me and my buddy DJ, we went by High Rollers, and we did that for probably 5 or 6 years, and just like played super heavy dubstep and trap and just like hip hop, and just like it was just a blast. And then as that scene kind of fizzled and did what it did, took a little break, and then circling back to the sake infused night at Harney, my homies were just like, hey, you haven't really done anything in a while, and we were doing shows at Cabo Grill downtown Oceanside that had the basement / boom boom room down there, and
I remember that. I remember when that was
and our buddy Dean like ran that spot, so pretty much gave us the keys to kind of like do whatever, and there was really none of the bass music stuff kind of happening in North County, and we did New Year's parties there and stuff like that. And so the buddies kind of brought it up about just like doing something again, and was just like, they were like, hey, like a pool party would be kind of sick, a day party or something. And so we got all socked up, and we went over to the Marriott right there, and they had a pool on the roof, and so we like kind of just wiggled our way to go check it out. I had never seen it before. We get up there, and it was like super small, but like on the way down, I was like, well, damn, there's like this huge rooftop on the top of this building here. Like that would be a cool spot to do something.
Absolutely.
And so next day,
when Oceanside still had its ocean view, right?
Yeah, there was no big hotels there, and you could see the ocean, and it was on the front lines right there. And so next day, I hit up their event person and kind of explained what I had in mind, and kind of embellished a little bit of what I did, because I'd already I'd promoted shows and been a part of them or whatever, but like from full bore putting it on, had never really done that. And so when I met her, she was just like full Skrillex haircut, like
nice.
Oh, she was
like,
in.
So she was already waiting for someone to ask.
Hair, and I was like, all right, I think we have something here. And her name was Liz, and she was like the one who like gave me the pass to do it, and kind of cut through some of the red tape from the hotel and stuff, and just like I had that point no budget and was just like out of pocket, and was just like, let's do this. And I had all a few of my homies who were DJing and stuff, and started out with the day party, and that's where it was just like Pier Club Day Party was kind of how it started. And
so it was called Pier Club right from the get-go.
Yeah, it was like Pier Club Day Party was like the first initial logo like for that party. And then I had the first one and had like 400 people, and it was just like
great start.
Good start.
It was super cool. I mean, the biggest thing was just like the support from my friends and community and stuff like that was something that the friends had been supporting. I mean, they were the ones that were at those shows with no people, where they would take a party bus and were playing in front of the 30 homies that came with us.
Awesome. That's awesome.
The friend group has been so awesome this whole entire time of every venture I'd have ever been a part of. And so, it was one of those where the community was like super supportive, and it was like the first kind of like ticketed thing where it was like a $20 ticket to come to this day party. And it was cool too that like the vibe off the get-go is like people kind of dressed up in like day party-esque vibe of like the button down, where normally if they're going out, especially in Oceanside, it was kind of just plain shirt and Dickies or whatever. But it was cool, and it was just a really good vibe, and a lot of beautiful people, and just like cornhole tournament, and photo installations, and just like good music, and and so did the first one, and it was cool, and just kind of sat on it for a little bit and didn't do another one until the following year, and did like kind of a summer kickoff party, and
summer pool party, dude.
Yeah,
on a rooftop with ocean view.
And then that one worked out really well, and same thing, there was like more people than the last one, and I was like, all right, well, let's do another one in August, and did that. And that was another, cool vibe. And then at this point, I had some people starting to reach out like, hey, yo, we should do this, or just different ideas of stuff. And at this point I was kind of just like, all right, I guess we could do events now or whatever.
Dude.
But the next big step was Oceanside magazine reached out.
That's
and
huge. That's huge.
They were currently doing kind of like a food thing at the Mission, and it was kind of just they weren't really digging the vibe and stuff like that. And so they asked me to help them kind of spark a new food festival situation. And so between what they have going with their rad publication, and connecting the community and stuff like that, and what I was kind of starting to do, just kind of partnered up on that one, and started Oceanside Flavor,
there we go.
which is a food festival that kind of features all the different bars and restaurants and spots in Oceanside specifically, but kind of branch out to North County a little bit.
Sure.
And it's just people float around and eat and drink until their heart's content. And
oh my God, yes.
We've been doing that one now for six or 7 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Dang.
That's like the one event to yours that we really haven't been to. That honestly sounds really fun to us, because we obviously play a lot of bars and breweries and stuff, and what a great way to show face and kind of like introduce ourselves to like new places around Oceanside.
Sure.
So honestly, that's such a good idea. I love the idea of like bringing community, different businesses, different bars all together in one place.
Yeah.
And everybody can like exchange contacts and work with each other and
Eat great food all day long.
Yeah,
Dude,
Oceanside Flavor is super cool for so many different reasons. Of just, Oceanside specifically as a community is one that is so tight knit and so, people love Oceanside. I love Oceanside.
I love
I'm born and
Oceanside,
raised there, and it's just like there's this loyalty and this passion and support for it. And so, when you get all these local businesses together, it's just a big
family reunion,
mush pot of just cool people doing really cool things in the community.
Yes.
And great food, great drinks,
Yes.
great music, all of the things at once. And that one's just really kind of grown a life of its own. I mean, the first year we had 40 vendors and I think like 600 people. This
Nice.
last year the most recent year we had like 85 vendors and like 1,500 people. And so
doubling numbers, like almost tripling at that point.
Yeah,
Wow.
every year it kind of just grew and grew and grew. And, we've had spots, like LTH and stuff that have been there from day one. And, it's just really cool. Especially, I think the biggest thing from the food festival standpoint is that with it being such a community-based event, all the vendors from the very first year went so hard and heavy on showing out that the portions are absolutely insane. I mean,
Wow.
like, you got like, Fat Joe's doing like a full 6-inch sandwich. You got Kraft Coast doing full birria tacos. LTH is always doing, some ahi or some just like crazy thing. Like, Guahan Grill's doing like full chicken tenders with like fries and just like
dude, yes.
so many tacos and so many desserts and all the different bakeries and stuff. And like most food festivals I feel you go to, it's like you're getting like a spoon of a taste.
You're getting
on there.
a sample. You're not getting a dish.
But
You're getting
this
a
one
sample.
is like, full slices of pizza. And the Trap Shack in Carlsbad did like a full lobster roll like last year. And just crazy to where it's just like that aspect of it is something that where everyone's flexing so hard.
Yeah.
That as the people,
It's good competition.
yeah, and as the people going, you're stoked because you're just getting,
Dude,
eating
fed.
to your heart's, content. That it's like if you're hitting 10 vendors, like
that's easily,
that's a lot. It's just like there's so much, but at the same time, it's like you're full by the third, fourth, fifth one, and so, but yeah, that one's been really cool, and you know, with the Oceanside magazine and their connection to the city and stuff, we've really been able to, you know, keep that one going, and I mean that one's of the vendors for the vendors. I mean the main reason for me is to get all these people to the brick and mortar. You know, it's like one of the taglines is like, you know, try your current favorite and new favorite spots, you know, all in one place type of thing. That. And so, you know, with everything, with the changes and stuff, there's different views on the gentrification and different things happening in the town. But it's like, you know, the small business owners are like the ones that benefit, you know,
really do.
Just trying to support. I mean, because the Chili's and the Dunkin' Donuts and
they're 50, good. They're already established. You know, you don't need no come to the vendor and share the donut. We can.
I mean, there's like 10 coffee shops on.
Oh my God! Just on Oceanside Boulevard.
Yeah, you know, and it's like, but it's rad to see that BlackRock has a line around the building, and the homies at the Cup have, you know, a line out the door and stuff like that. So I mean, you know, supporting local and shopping local and eating local and all that stuff, especially because all their stuff's way better anyway. You know,
it's more quality.
Just,
there's like love. There's love in the food when you like really go there. Like I mean, just you saying the Cup in general. I love going to the Cup. I mean, they did just because I met you there one day. I started going there on my own. I was like, dude, this place is awesome. And it's the vibe, and that's what you get in Oceanside. You get these places that are like, they give you that like wholesome. I'm getting like a bang for my buck, but also like I feel like I'm, you know, a part of the community. I feel like I'm a part of something here. You know what I mean?
Part of the community. You're part of the community. It's like, that's like kind of the goal. Like for me, my favorite spot, like local brand, is like the Nautical Bean. That's like my good go-to spot. And I think it's just more for the scenery, and it's just kind of like, this is like my comfort spot. But it's still a local business. You know?
Hell yeah.
Could be going to Starbucks or Dunkin' Donut or Dutch Bros. But still choose to go to a local.
It's nice. Shop. I honestly don't see a lot of people at Dunkin' Donuts ever actually now.
Out of all of them, I feel that one's hurting the most. I don't get the whole Dutch. I don't get the Dutch Bro craze.
I don't. You know.
I don't know. I do like Dutch Bros.
He's a sweet guy. I mean, I love BlackRock. I mean, when I first came out, I thought BlackRock was like the coolest coffee shop around, because it was like I had friends that worked there. We like, you know, I worked there for like a second, but then like I got like let go, which is even fine. But I still went back there because I just love it. Was just like the cool, like, you know, it's a good spot to be. And now they expanded to Vista, and now they're like they're all over Arizona. You know what I mean? They have like a whole like shop in Arizona, but I love that they stay like they keep it to local. You keep it in Oceanside, and you know where it is when you go to Oceanside. Oceanside Boulevard. It's one of the first coffee shop you see, right next to like Alberto's stuff. And it's so cool. And I just love that you really heighten the community. You know, I love that so much. These places really need it, and like, dude, they're amazing foods. And plus, for your event, spending like it's like $100 a ticket. You're gonna get your money's worth, moreover than anything. Like you're gonna like those portions and stuff, dude. Let's be real. When you go to an event, it's like what, $15-$20. Right. So you're just like, if you go to like 4 vendors, you've already made that, dude. You've already did that, and you're like, even if you're hungry after that. With those big portions, I'd be very surprised.
No, it's really been cool, and you know, just kind of watching it grow every year, and the continued support, and I mean, even from the vendors, because I mean, you know, they're taking time out of their day, and it's cool because all the chefs are there, a lot of the owners are there, and so it's just you know, just really cool for everyone to be able to showcase that and in all the different ways, and that one happens in September every year, and you know, pretty much all the events I do are kind of just like, I do like the 6 big ones a year, and that's just every year those ones, you know, kind of happen. Smart. And so pretty much from September to New Year's is just kind of boom, 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 boom. But and so then the flavor thing happened, which was cool, and started that one. And then that same year, it was kind of just, there was that void for New Year's in North County when we were doing the DJ thing. We would do like boat parties or some nightclub stuff, or did the different hotel stuff that was going on down there, which was fun. But I was just like, you know, was doing stuff up here. There's nothing up here. Like, let's just try to fill that void. And so started the New Year party, and same thing. It just kind of just worked out and people wanted to party and people
Absolutely.
you know, like dressed up and just like got, you know, it kind of had that upper echelon kind of just nicer New Year's party for what currently was going on. And random little funny story about the first New Year's is like was just planning to do it on the rooftop. The hotel the first year they were kind of like we don't know numbers, like, you know, they have a full restaurant that they need to keep going.
Right.
Like it's important to them to have dinner, all this stuff.
Yeah.
Well, rain started being in the forecast, and I was like, ugh. And we had talked about a plan B, worst case scenario, like, well, maybe we could just move it into the restaurant and whatever. And so a few days prior, I'm like, calling the GM, his name's Dan, and he's a buddy now, and it just like, hey man, like rain's in the forecast. He's like, yeah, I know. And it was like, well, what are we thinking? And like, well, let's just do it in the restaurant. I'm like, all right, cool, like let's run it. And so we start game planning on what that's going to look like. The restaurant full of furniture and all of this stuff, like, well, what are we going to do? And so just decided to turn the restaurant into a nightclub for a night, and figured it out to pull all the furniture like deep into the hotel, and had a laundry list of homies helping move stuff and whatever.
It's amazing.
And as we get closer to the event, not only is the event like sold out because I knew I was like at a capacity that I thought we were shooting for, but with it raining, things changed a little bit. So like I put the sellout thing, and then like people just started hitting me up and just like kind of blowing up. And then the weather started to change to where it wasn't going to rain, or like not much rain or whatever. And so the idea of, well, what if we did 2 stages and did it on the rooftop as well? Like, and I had homies on deck that were like, hey, yo, you down to like spin upstairs? We're going to do two stages or whatever. And so on an impromptu weather, whatever. And then the hotel kind of like, you know, being down to try it, we ended up going 2 stages.
That's incredible.
You know, having like over 400 and something people, and
oh my god,
you know, and it was popping and worked out well. Didn't rain, all this stuff, and like because we bring in like casino tables, and it's it's a casino night type of thing.
Yeah,
we call it Club 12, and it just like worked out. And it was like I didn't even initially think of it as a 2-stage area party, but it just like threw a random curveball of what was going to be a bad thing ended up turning into a good thing. And then here we are 6 years later doing that event, 2 stages, inside, outside, different vibes, all that type of stuff. And so what was not so good, stressful, hectic, wild few days of a weather thing, turned into something that was like, all right, cool. Like let's run it and make it happen. And it worked out. So
that's amazing.
That's an incredible story.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Talk about like taking something that was like stressful and anxiety that could have like totally, and I'm sure you were thought like, we can back out or we can like move somewhere else, but talk about taking all that stressfulness, but still like pushing forward, and looking how it all turned out. Now it's like, we're not just filling up the room; we're filling up the room and the upstairs
like
stuff.
An opportunity that way, like you totally like it could have been like a, I don't know, man, and like definitely I know those conversations when it's like really not. It's it's hard because I go like, well, what are we doing? Because their thought is like, well, I hope they don't cancel on us because I've already paid this much. I've already done all of this. They should have paid the cancellation fee. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's about like, what's going to happen, whether with everything going on, and how it turned into, like I said, an anxiety driven thing turned into an incredible, sick, amazing party that's been going on for 6 years on Oceanside. That literally, dude,
like even to this day, people already know what they're doing for New Year's.
People already like
just waiting for when the tickets go on sale. You know?
I mean that's what I do, and I mean since like last year, and I love it. Like I said, people do dress up. People do. I mean, we dressed up last year. Remember?
We did.
I had to come in. We can't just go there like looking like Momo Johnsons. We gotta
you guys are suited and booted.
Dude, absolutely suited and booted, man. I think we have like a picture.
We got.
One's a picture right here, right?
Yeah, insert that picture.
Literally, man. It's so cool, dude.
It's a lot of fun.
God, it is such a cool event, man. Wow, just like all these events, man.
Yeah.
All these are amazing from the community to knowing, again, you're one of the most popular people I know. I think around, like, dude, literally, because every time we say your name, it's like, oh, I know Curtis. Oh, I love Curtis. Oh, you know Curtis, you've been this? Oh, Curtis. I'm like, the man's everywhere. The man does it all. And
Yeah.
your biggest supporter, and I think what we were just talking about earlier before we started the podcast, is, you really do, personally, you do support. You do go out there when someone's like, hey, man, you check them out. I mean, when you saw us, I was... Personally, I was honored. I was like, "Oh my gosh,
that was a big
Curtis
deal.
Baker's
That was a big
here.
deal.
Like, we gotta make, like, dude, like this guy, like, what it does is it makes people know that, like, yo, dude, you don't have, like, even though you're like they have the biggest events and everything, you don't need to be this guy. Well, I know everything and I know what I'm doing. It's like, no, man, keep it humble. You go and you show face. You're always there to support. You're always there to be like there, and you're always like, dude, you're just a great way of paving the way.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. That's why, like, I personally, I like that too. I'm that way as well. I want to go show face. It doesn't matter, like, I don't know, I don't really care. I don't really look at that kind of stuff. It's more like, what can I do, with everything we have, with everything that we're doing. Our taglines have your main character moment, so it's a matter of people experiencing their fun, because it's all about having fun.
For sure.
It's all about having bringing that funness to people. But what can we do to keep that organic and awesome and keep it going? And you do a great way of doing it, just being humble and showing face. And dude, we'll
appreciate that.
No, dude, thank you, bro. Thank you so much, Curtis. You're just a great dude, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's just it's one of those where my favorite thing to do is support homies that are doing cool shit, and I just happen to be very blessed and fortunate to be surrounded by a bunch of super talented creatives, artists, musicians, photographers, videographers, graphic designers, just like just good people, all of the things. And so entrepreneurs and everything. So it's like if being able to support them in whatever little way that might be, or whatever, it's just cool to be able to do that, and there's so much talent around, it's like,
there really is,
coming
dude.
from the music world and the band world and DJ world and producing and all that kind of stuff. It's just like, I got really tired of like that era of like the selling tickets to like get on a lineup.
Yes.
And it's like, well, you only sold 50 tickets and this guy sold 55, so he's playing after you and he's only been doing it for a year. And all this there's all the different venues that went through that era of doing that, and I just it kind of irked me that I was just like, so then once I kind of got to the point of doing stuff, I'm like, well, I'm just gonna get the best people I possibly can and can afford or whatever, and put them where they need to be.
Absolutely.
It's like, I don't care how many followers they have, per se, or like things like that it's like, I know that they're awesome at what they do and they should be there, and here you go. It's just like, Flavor, it's fun every year because we get the stage just kind of got bigger and bigger and bigger, and then, being able to give some of these homies that platform to where it's like, all you need to worry about is showing up and doing what you do. Like,
love that.
I'll bring the people,
Yes.
and
doesn't matter what time slot you get.
Yeah,
just show up and play, man.
Show up,
take advantage of what you got right now, man.
Yeah, do what you do, and you're rad at it, and you just focus on that, and so just being able to support the creative homies has definitely been a driving factor of just getting to pay my homies to do what they do and they're really good at. And so yeah, that's definitely been like one of the driving forces, behind it, is just like the team is all these people who do what they're really good at. And it's just like, all right, I try to keep it within the team as much as I can, and it's been cool.
I mean, speaking of teams, we just mentioned earlier about we were talking about your security, your security staff that we saw, and know that like your friend owns this company, right? Like, what was it about? Like,
so my buddy Nico, I played football with him in high school at Oceanside, and kind of around that first day party, he was looking to start, a security company. He was like doing security stuff for other people and whatnot, and he wanted to do his own thing. And I'm like, hey, bro, I'm doing this party and I need security. Like I could use like 8 guys. Like, you know, he's like, all right, I got you. And like, you know, and so he started his company around the same time, and we both just kind of, as we both grew, you know, he was my go-to for everything, and it still is, you know. And it's like, I think we did one event without them because of a conflict of dates or something like that, and it was just like we had like the elite security red shirt, and it was like one of those things where I was just like, I'm a very like hands-on, like overbearing sometimes when I'm just like focused on keeping things smooth and all this, and I'm like literally watching these red shirt guys and gals like let people walk by certain areas, and like you got one job, bro,
dude.
Like, you know,
just stand here, my guy, and just to make sure this is great. And and they're just always turning around, dude. I totally know what you mean, bro.
I told him just like, dude, never again. Don't, please don't ever, you know, because these guys, I mean, most of them I've known for a very, very long time, and I mean, they have my back to the very end, and it's just on that front, you know, because safety is a huge, huge deal at all these things, that I want to create a fun, safe space for everybody, that, you know, having that presence of this is a secure, solid, safe space is very important. And, you know, when you have a group of dudes that have your back on that front, it's helps me sleep better at night, knowing that you know, that's covered and we don't have to worry about that. And so but it's been really cool to watch, you know, him do his thing and grow. And you know, as the years went on, he started, you know, taking big crews out to Coachella and doing a lot of the big major festivals and stuff like that.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, Coachella's made up of tons of security companies that do different things, but but yeah, like they ran the main stage you know, a few years in a row. And so yeah, shouts out to Nico. He's one of my A1 day ones, and
love it.
It's just been really cool to just, you know, kind of grow together on that front, which has been tight.
Massive. That's amazing, dude. I love that.
Good stuff.
No, I love that, man. So just again, you talk about just bringing people, friends where they're supposed to be. Yeah. And you give them that platform.
Yeah.
That is so cool, dude. And that's awesome. That's amazing that you have the opportunity to do that and give these people who, you know, like, especially from a DJ side, you know, they're trying their hardest to, like, you know, play even like a 20-minute set at some club, and they're like just striving their hardest, and like even the promoter's like, nah, I don't really care about you. You just whatever, okay, because your buddy said this thing that, you know,
you didn't sell this many tickets, you didn't get any the bottle service, you didn't bring any bottle service, so you can't.
Yeah, and then you give them that time and you go, you know, dude, I see your worth. I know that you can like totally send it, and dude, I mean, it shows. It really shows that every DJ from like the first one they played until the very end they played, all great, all talented, super good. You had my attention. You had Hunters and I attention the whole night at Treatz. I mean, we're bass heads. We're fat bass heads. We're huge,
just going hard.
Wompity womps, and just Megatrons fighting each other. You know, like big fans of it, dude. Yeah, and it was awesome. It was really great.
Yeah, that one's cool because that's like the one event that I can kind of
have fun,
fill that void of the bass stage type of thing, because it doesn't obviously work everywhere.
No.
But yeah, you know, the homie Scumwubs and Adam Bomb, Zane and Xochi we had talked about it many times, of like, I knew that they had this like itch to do like a drum and bass thing, and I'm like, dude, this is the year, just, you know, get after it, you know. So but yeah, being able to do the bass stage one is always something that makes me happy, because I just come from that world, and that type of music hits so different when it's loud and in your face, and just like
you get me going already right now, dude. I'm so
it's a lot of fun. And so being able to do that for that event is always tight, just to get that extra bass going.
Always, dude. We'll never say no to the bass. You want to tell us, you know, if you don't know Curtis as well, please follow him on all social media platforms. I know he has all these events going on right now. Please go to these events, and please tell him the next events, you know, you're having up and coming around, and what's new, what's next.
Yeah, so have Snowside coming up December 6th, 7th, and 8th. That's a 3-day family-friendly winter festival that I host at my golf course, Emerald Owl Golf Course in Oceanside. And yeah, it's great for kids. We bring in like 80 tons of snow down to the driving range.
Wow.
There's sledding and snow play area. Santa's there all 3 nights. Live music and food court and Christmas lights and just all the festive winter wonderland things you could want. And so this would be the 4th year we've done that project. And
oh, really? Sweet.
Yeah, that one's been like a newer add-on. That one was kind of just birthed out of all my homies started having kids and like not really coming to the parties anymore. And I was like, all right, well, let's try to create a space that my friends can drink margaritas and watch their kids play in the snow and go in the jumpies and stuff. And
love it.
And North County, same thing of just like filling a void, didn't really have any wintry, Christmassy thing.
Could be that we live in Southern California, but
you know, and so there was like kind of some stuff in San Diego, and Del Mar does, you know, their little, you know, their stuff or whatever.
Right.
And so and then, you know, the golf course and John and Holly over there believed in the vision of kind of what I had, and we're just willing to, you know, let's give it a go. It's just been really cool. And now with so many friends who have kids and, you know, getting to see that side of the events of like kids enjoying these things of just like, you know, Southern California, there's in Oceanside, this neighborhood, there's a lot of kids who've never seen the snow before. And to see these kids just lose it when they're sledding down the hill or, you know, seeing that joy of Santa and, you know, all that stuff is just like super cool, you know. So it was kind of just birthed out of all my little nieces and nephews, just like, all right, let's just like create a Disneyland in Oceanside for them. And
that's awesome.
That's cool.
That one's just really has kind of become one of my favorites for that reason of just that family fun stuff, just like that wedding kind of thing. It's like the same thing where it's just like, you know,
this one definitely catered towards more to the kids for sure.
Yeah, 100%. Especially the little ones. You know, it's like there is that awkward gap that if like you're like 13 to 16, it's like sorry about it, but there's no like there's no cool stuff to do. You know, it's definitely for the little ones to see Santa and to do the sledding stuff. I mean, adults can go sledding too. I mean, we get after it after hours. And it's a lot of fun.
Count us in, dude. I'm down.
But yeah, so that's December 6th, 7th, and 8th.
Cool.
Kids are $20, adults are $25.
Cool.
That one's a lot of fun. And then we have New Year's Club 12 happening at Surf Club December 31st. That one's a banger and a blast. You guys are playing at that one this year, which I'm super stoked about.
Oh, dude, we're so hyped.
And I just wanted to say, I wanted you to say it first before I said it because I didn't want to impose. But like I said, like talk about a full circle, a goal being accomplished. I went there, said like, this be a cool place to DJ. I wonder how I get connected, and then here we are. And I can't wait for that show, bro. And I look forward to as a DJ. Like performing for that show for many reasons. It was probably one of the last like New Year's I got to celebrate with Mom, so it was very personal. And dude, like, get to do it with him now. And dude, it's just I look forward to that. So thank you very much for allowing us to do
thank you
that,
so
man.
much, Curtis. We're very excited for that. So dude, so stoked.
Yeah.
More of a reason why everybody should come up for that New Year's party.
Absolutely.
Now. Yeah, if you're in North County and you don't want to get into the hustle and bustle of San Diego, it's definitely a nice sidestep to where you want to step out, you want to get dressed up. Even the hotel rooms are there too. It's like a little staycation vibe, but it's a cool way to still celebrate and not have to deal with the house party stuff or or if you are Ubering, it's a $15 Uber instead of a $60 Uber from downtown.
Literally.
And, all the genres are covered and champagne toast and casino games. We got blackjack and roulette, which goes down, which is really cool and a lot of fun. But yeah, it's just a good vibe and laundry list of really good DJs.
Yes.
Got my boy Cheeseburger.
Cheeseburgers,
yeah.
man. Let's go, dude.
Cheeseburger's gonna be holding down the main room with Jocelyn, who's awesome and all over San Diego.
Amazing.
Yep.
And then got Zane and Zochi up
All
top.
the boys, the back-to-back brothers.
Yeah.
the brothers back-to-back.
With you guys up there. And then, yeah, we're going to be running the Silent Disco as well this year. So have another laundry list of local homies that are going to be holding it down and doing different genres and stuff. And but yeah, if you're looking for something to do, come party and it'll be a good time. But yeah, tickets are on sale for both. Haven't really rolled out the promo for New Year's quite yet. But if you now, they're cheaper than they will be at the door. So
yeah,
all the links can be found on the socials, and
absolutely,
it's at Pier Club Presents is the main page. For Snowside, it's at Snowside Winter Festival. And then my @ is at Curtis Baker. And so yeah, best way to kind of get through that, pierclubpresents.com is the website. But yeah, just come hang out, come party, bring the family and the friends to Snowside. And it's like a cool little date night thing too. Get a lot of homies coming,
date night.
you know, just to kind of get their little photo ops. There's all the different light installations and light tunnel and
there you go,
cute
backdrops, and you know, it's just kind of a cool way to kick off the winter season. But yeah, so that's kind of the end of the year, and then once I make it through New Year's, it's kind of take a little break, little R&R, and then fire back up. In like April, I do a big industry golf tournament with all the different bars and restaurants and stuff in town, and that's kind of the kickoff of the year is the golf tournament.
I didn't realize how much fun golf was. Me and Brock, we went legit golfing for the first time.
Yeah,
you know, with little to no experience.
With Gorman Golf, shout out to Gorman.
With Gorman Golf, shout out to those
Gorman
guys.
Golf.
And man, dude. Now I see why everybody likes to golf. Like, it's so much fun.
I'm hooked.
Yeah.
I'm in. I love golf.
I've had a lot of fun.
My putting game is actually really, really good, actually. Love it. I did not know that was like, they were like, I was like, oh, dude, I just been on too many putt-putt dates, you know? And they're like, well, why don't you got a girlfriend? I go, because I'd be kicking ass, dude. Sorry, you can't just go on the golf, you know what I mean? But no, I love that. The golf tournament. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I'm a big golf guy. I've been at Emerald Isle and Oceanside forever. That's kind of like my home base, which has been really cool. Just connecting with the community, and we host a lot of tournaments for the community.
That's cool.
And we love doing donations for whoever needs it, you know, and stuff like that. And so having that as my hub, I mean, I've been there since I was like 18 and I'm 30 something now. It's just been really cool from the small business aspect to learn how to run a business, you know, and the owners of the last 10 years have been super awesome, John and Holly, and they've been so supportive of the events and just all of the things that I do and we do over there. And, you know, it's just been really cool how much they've just supported everything and seen the vision of, you know, Holly, she has an event company as well. And so she kind of really gave me the blueprint when I was first starting out of how do you talk to a hotel about doing something there, and you know, some of the back end stuff, and I mean, shit, she's been works the door at like every event I've ever done. You know,
then I've definitely seen her. Then okay, got you. I've definitely seen her.
Yeah, she's super awesome and just like totally doesn't have to do that and shouldn't do that, but she's just like so supportive and like, and she's an kicker and knows so much about the space and stuff anyway. That's like she's that extra pair of hands and eyes that is just like on top of all this stuff that it's like I don't even have to say it, and she's already
clutch to have.
Looking at it and knows it. And so having her and John support on that has just been super, super cool, especially when I, you know, had the Snowside idea that was just like, I want to bring in a ton of snow and put it on the grass and like all this stuff. And there was like, all right, like, you know, and so, you know, having people who can see the vision, you know, is very important. And same with my graphic chick Cass. She's just like takes these things out of my head and like helps me bring them to reality, and
That's incredible.
deals with my overbearing, super critical, creative as well, you know, to where, you know, we have a bunch of running jokes of, all right, here, I sent it over, let me know what you hate, and like, you know, type of thing. Like, let me know if you want me to start from scratch, and you know, whatever. But it's really cool, and you know, to have working relationships with people who, you know, see the vision, get it, and are able to help you make it come to life, you know, because I mean, so many of these projects, the first year, I have no content for any of them,
right?
You know, and so it's like, you're going to do a day party, or we're going to do a snow side. Well, I don't have pictures of kids playing in the snow and sledding and, you know, doing all this stuff. Like, how do you promote an event that you don't have content for? And it's like the flyer ends up being so important for a lot of these events of like,
definitely,
here's how I'm trying to explain or show people what it is they're about to, you know, go to. And then once you get content, it then becomes
a little bit more easier.
Yeah, you're
pretty standard.
Able to do other things and videos and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's been really cool to have Cass be able to like get the stuff out of my head, or like, oh, here's a sketch, like, give me a Disney version of it, you know. And she's like, okay,
that's incredible.
Yeah, it's been really cool.
That's so cool.
And but yeah, so I mean, being around and supported by so many good people is just like really the only way this, you know, can happen. I mean,
100%.
Cheeseburger has been my right hand man since the get go too.
Yes.
And he's the sound guru and the DJ and stuff like that. And you know, even just the crew guys. I mean, we all come from the band worlds and stuff too. That it's like, you know, I got a handful of dudes that are at every single event for the shitty parts, the loadout, the load in,
like going upstairs,
you know,
going downstairs, and running,
you know,
moving tables, moving chairs, clear the space,
and it's just
clean up.
So important to have those people, and people who, you know, see the vision, and you know, the chicks that run the door too are all friends and super awesome, and it's just like it's such a team family affair for all the different projects, and I'm just beyond blessed and fortunate that people still want to come and people still are enjoying them. And so as long as
you're doing a good job, man,
happens, we're just gonna kind of, you know, keep it rolling and have a few other things that we have in mind to try at some point when the time's right. And,
absolutely. That's awesome, dude. Thank you so much for telling us and talking to us about that and letting us know and a little bit about your world, man. And I really appreciate you being on the podcast and telling us about this, bro.
Yeah,
like I said, you're amazing. You're incredible. I personally look up to you, dude. I really do. And you're really paving the way to doing more and creating really amazing events, man.
Hell yeah. Well, I appreciate you guys, and it's been really cool, you know, connect with you guys over the last few years on this, that, and the other thing. And
thank you.
You know, I know we're chatting about a few things for the future too, which is exciting. And so it's just been a lot of fun. And I mean, the energy and stuff that you guys bring to the shows is so rad. And it's like, especially genre wise, that's like such a cool void to be able to fill that you normally don't get to see, especially the ones I'm doing at like the Treatz and the nightclub kind of stuff. And
right.
That's where I'm super stoked for New Year's to kind of bring that vibe to that as well. And you know, it'll be a fun time.
Man, we're looking forward to it.
Very much looking forward
to it.
It's
going to be tough to top those suits that you guys had last year.
I was just thinking
I'm
it, dude.
sure if there's two guys to do it, you guys would be the ones to do it.
No.
I definitely will. I mean, dude, I think that's it kind of wraps up our time, bro. I know we're going to say like 20 minutes, but this has been an amazing conversation, man. This is just so wholesome and so amazing. And
hell yeah,
again,
thank you.
Please support Curtis in the community. Go to his events, check them out, buy the tickets. Dude, honestly, with all these events, you definitely want to buy early. They literally always sell out. So please get in early. Just say what up and talk to Curtis. He's a really good guy. He will never say no. He'll never say no to you or give you a cool guy look. But on that note, I'm MC Broccoli.
I'm DJ Hunts.
Have a great rest of your week, and we love you so much. And I definitely didn't say that right, but whatever. But have a rest of your week here. Well, okay. Okay. No, seriously, have a great rest of your week. And thank you again, Curtis. We love you, brother.
Definitely. Thank you guys.
Sweet.
Appreciate it.
I'm MC Broccoli.
We're doing this again?
Again.
And I'm DJ Hunts. Good night.